Meanwhile, on a different note, a liberal mayor blasting the president for his threat to deny federal cash from cities protecting illegals.
Targeting sanctuary cities is a way for them to tell mayors and other folks, around the country, one, that they're sticking to what I think is a very unconstitutional and un-American policy, and trying to intimidate us into being what I've called fugitive slave catchers, to run around and do their bidding in our cities.
Really? Throwing out illegals? You'd equate that to that? He's the host of The Blaze, Lawrence Jones, and joins us right now. Lawrence, what's your take on his take?
Hey, Brian, I'm a little upset about this. Actually, I'm mad as hell. I don't understand how somebody can compare this to the Constitution and slaves when it took a constitutional amendment for black slaves to be free after coming here unwillingly. So how can they continue to make this comparison when these people can go home at any time, anytime?
Absolutely, on that level too. And the fact is, if that's his view, that illegals amongst us, if you report them or follow up, especially if they committed a crime, they're out. By following the law, they equate it to that. More pressure on law enforcement when African American leaders do things like this, correct?
Yes, and where's the Congressional Black Caucus? Listen, Brian, freedom is not free. Okay, people paid a price for black slaves to become American citizens. There was no free health care. There was no food stamps. There was no government assistance. You didn't get paid for your labor. These people get here, get a job. They get free health care. They get government assistance, in-state tuition, and all other things that other Americans get. I think it's unfair. I am shocked that a black man in the Congressional Black Caucus are silent on this. It is unacceptable.
So, Lawrence, look at this. It's very interesting. Even if you're in liberal cities, law enforcement can go along with the mayor only to a certain degree. For example, you don't get any more liberal than Mayor de Blasio when he goes to work. NYPD reportedly is just for ignoring him and alerting ICE officials when they arrest somebody or detain somebody that is here illegally. So there's a little problem. There's a pushback in Massachusetts, too.
It's obstruction, okay? We've seen this where judges were letting inmates out the back door of the judge's entrance when ICE agents were waiting outside. These people need to be held criminally responsible. The mayors shouldn't have funding from the federal government. These counties should be stripped of funding. These people are obstructing the law. They need to be held accountable. This is not the Underground Railroad, as many liberals are now calling this. This is pure obstruction. If you want to be a citizen in this great country, you need to go through the process. Freedom ain't free, brother.
Famously now, we point out Bill Clinton in the 90s making a speech saying we have to enforce our borders and get more border patrol. What happened to this? Why is this such a partisan issue in 2017 when we were all in agreement in the mid-90s?
Because they want the votes, okay? All right, they're trying to use this just like they use with black folks of the whole racism in the Republican Party. This is just another ploy to get votes, to pull at people's heartstrings while completely ignoring the black experience in America, what it took to be Americans. This is just another emotional play to get Latinos to consistently support them by even when the President Obama deported more people than any other president, nobody wants to talk about that. I think this is just another example of that.
All right, Lawrence Jones, thanks so much. Appreciate your time.
Brian, thanks, brother.